Live from Joliet, Illinois, we are set for University of St. Francis softball and a big CCAC matchup today between the Fighting Saints and the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene University. Welcome to the broadcast. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call today as the Saints look for a big win over the Tigers, who come in just a half game behind them for the top spot in the CCAC. St. Francis 15-1 in conference, Olivet 14-1. And the Saints won the previous meeting between these two teams last week, so they're going for a season sweep of Olivet Nazarene today. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Tigers. Their leadoff batter is catcher Sarah Beers. Kelly Rinker hits second and plays second base. Lexi Karstens hits third. She'll be the pitcher. Batting cleanup, first baseman Samantha Alberto. Allie Davis hits fifth and plays short. Miranda Southall is in right field. Hitting seventh and center, Alyssa Pusateri. McKenna Emerson bats eighth and plays third. And hitting ninth, left fielder Felicia Wakasi. For the Fighting Saints, Anna Wetherell leads things off playing center field. Brooke Carricker bats second and plays second base. Hitting third, catcher Allie Belandis. Kayla Garcia is the cleanup batter and first baseman. Jensen Torzinski is the designated player. Ashley Gallison hits sixth and plays shortstop. And I'll get you the rest of the lineup in just a moment. We're ready to commence as the first pitch of the game is fouled back for strike one. We're underway at 5:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. 0-1 on the leadoff batter, catcher Sarah Beers. Just to get to the rest of those Fighting Saints today, Haley Length plays left field, hitting seventh. Caitlin Rolniak is at third base, and batting ninth, right fielder Paige Egan. With a 1-1 count on Sarah Beers, the starting pitcher for the Fighting Saints is right-hander Morgan Derringer, and it's good to see the ace senior back out there after she missed the last couple of doubleheaders. Ball high, 2-1. In fact, she started a game last week against St. Ambrose, had to depart after just one inning, and was not able to return the rest of the night. Next pitch taken for a strike, 2-2. She missed this weekend's twin bill against Trinity Christian, but they managed to sweep the Trolls without her. And now back in action today against Olivet. The ball's popped up foul territory right side over towards the seats. Allie Belandis and Kayla Garcia run out of room. Still 2-2 on Sarah Beers, who had 3 hits in 5 at-bats against Morgan Derringer last Tuesday right here on this field, the Harlow Lockwood softball fields at the Inwood Sports Complex in the heart of Joliet, Illinois. Fouled back, Beers stays alive. Good at bat for the leadoff hitter. 6 days ago, Saints and the Tigers matched up here, with St. Francis coming out victorious 1-0 in an 11-inning marathon. Great pitchers duel that day between Derringer and Lexi Karstens, who are matching up again today. Ball high, 3-2, and Beers will see an 8th pitch from Derringer. Good at bat from the leadoff hitter here. Beers, a .318 hitter on the season. She swings and misses for strike 3. Good battle won by the pitcher, and a strong start for Morgan Derringer and company. 1 out in the top of the first. It was supposed to be a doubleheader last Tuesday night. After the Saints won that great 1-0 contest, it got a little too cold to continue. Derringer finds the zone for strike 1 on Kelly Rinker. .450 batting average, 12 doubles, 2 triples, 24 RBIs. She's got an on-base percentage above 500 as this ball is fouled back out of play, and it's an 0-2 count now on Kelly Rinker. That first game last Tuesday ended up going so long, with it not being decided until the 11th inning, that the second game was not going to start until after 8 o'clock as Rinker takes strike 3 over the inside corner. Second out of the inning, Rinker goes down looking on just 3 pitches. And it's always nice when you can set down a 400 hitter, especially one with an on-base percentage over 500. When you can do it on 3 pitches, even better. Ball 1 outside on Lexi Karstens, the star pitcher for Olivet Nazarene. Karstens pretty good at the dish as well. 1-0 pitch is drilled foul to the left side and out of play. Count is 1-1. Karstens this year hitting .324, 6 homers. That leads the team. She's got 25 RBIs. Batting with 2 outs and nobody on, she rolls it to the left side. Gallison throws to first in the dirt, And a nice pick by Kayla Garcia to end the inning. Nice work by Garcia, who's mostly been the designated player this year, but out in the field today, she's able to make the grab and end the inning. And it is a 1-2-3 first, worked by Morgan Derringer. Good start for the Saints in the field. We'll see how they start at the plate in just a few moments. No score. Bottom of the first inning, St. Francis comes to bat for the first time after a 1-2-3 top half of the frame. Anna Wetherell, Brooke Carricker, Ali Belandis are due to hit this inning. Garcia, Torzinski, Gallison, Lenth, Rolniak, and Egan make up the rest of the batting order, and they are facing a tough one today for Olivet Nazarene. Junior Emily Karstens, starting for the 17th time this year, her 19th appearance. She's 14-2 with a 1.45 ERA. In 116 innings pitched, she's allowed 36 runs, 24 of them earned on 92 hits, 86 strikeouts, 28 walks. Opponents are batting just .206 this year against Karstens. Our first pitch of the game comes into Anna Wetherell, and it's slapped to the left side foul, just out of the reach of the third baseman McKenna Emerson for strike one. Anna Wetherell trying to start a first inning rally here. She's a .357 hitter. 382 on base percentage. She's got a homer and 13 RBIs on the year. Karsten's next one comes in upstairs for a ball, 1-1. St. Francis again beat Karstens and the Tigers 1-0 last week. Fouled back, out of play. And the count is 1-2. Olivet Nazarene lost that game, their only loss in the conference season, but it certainly wasn't the fault of Karstens. She pitched 10 shutout innings, and then in the 11th finally gave up a run, but it was unearned. Fouled back, this time by Wetherell, still 1-2. Anna Wetherell was part of that run-scoring rally in the bottom of the 11th inning against Karstens. Ball high, 2-2. She dropped down a bunt. She came up, in fact, with the runner at second base. Dropped down a bunt, ended up turning it into an infield single. This time she'll hit it to the outfield and come up with a single. Ground ball through the right side, just out of the reach of the second baseman, Kelly Rinker. And the leadoff batter is aboard for St. Francis, a single for Anna Wetherell. So here's Brooke Carricker. And in that big rally against Karstens in the 11th inning of the last game these two teams played against each other, Carricker was the hero. This time she shows bunt, pulls the bat back and takes a strike. Wetherell takes off for second and makes it in standing up. No throw, as Sarah Beers did not get a good grip on the ball, popped out of her glove. So Wetherell steals second base uncontested. It is 0-1 on Carricker, but there's a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And Brooke Carricker takes strike two. Carricker's hitting .342 on the season, 8 doubles, a triple, 5 home runs, and 22 RBIs. Ground ball right at the second baseman Rinker. Her only play is at first. And she gets the out, but a productive out for Carricker. Wetherell advances to third base on the play, and Ali Belandis will be the hitter. It's worth noting that for as good as these pitchers are, Morgan Derringer for the Saints and Emily, not Lexi Karstens, for Olivet Nazarene, they were helped out a little bit last week by the weather conditions. It was bitterly cold. The wind was blowing in. Really good day for pitchers. Ali Belandis stands in and takes the first pitch over for a strike. So that certainly played a factor in the fact that we went 10 scoreless innings before the game finally ended in 11. We expect another pitcher's duel today, but I don't know if we're going to get another 11-inning nothing-to-nothing contest. Belandis takes a wild pitch. Wetherill starts down the line but decides not to try to score. Ball one on Ali Belandis, and probably a wise decision there for Anna Wetherill. It's not a long way to the backstop here. Sarah Beers was right on it, and with only one out and the heart of the order up, Wetherill will take the chance that Belandis can make some contact and drive her in here. 1-1 to Belandis, who's smacked straight backwards, 1-2. Belandis this season has put up some whopping numbers: 400 batting average, 13 extra base hits, 20 RBIs. On base percentage, 417, slugging, 565. She's gotten it done in a lot of ways for the Fighting Saints, and she was one of the few players who had a couple of good swings against Emily Karstens last week. She's behind in the count, 1-2 here. She takes one in the dirt. Again, it gets away from Beers, but again, not far enough for Wetherill to chance it. And that time Anna just crept slowly down the third base line, didn't really consider trying to score because the ball did roll down the third base line and was never really far enough away from Beers that she couldn't have made the stop immediately. Belandis takes strike three over the inside edge of the plate, 2 down. A huge strikeout for Emily Karstens. Karstens has some dominant numbers as a pitcher this season. Not nearly the strikeout pitcher that her counterpart Morgan Derringer is. 87 of them now in 116 2/3 innings. And at a time that Saints needed some contact, Karstens was able to come up with the big strikeout that she needed. Here's Kayla Garcia taking a first pitch strike. Garcia's hitting .438. She's got 7 long ones, 32 RBIs. Monster numbers for the sophomore first baseman Kayla Garcia. She takes a ball and the count is even. Anna Wetherill hit a leadoff single. She stole second base, advanced to third on a ground out. She stands at third right now with 2 down. Garcia pops it up, foul and out of play. And it's still 1-2. To give you an idea of just how impressive that pitcher's duel was last week between Derringer and Karstens, there certainly was not a runner at third base in the first inning. St. Francis only had one of them the whole game. Ball outside, 2-2 on Garcia. And that was the run who scored in the 11th. It was the only time that whole game in which St. Francis got a runner to third base. They've got one there early today, but can they do anything with her? 2-2 on Garcia. She takes a ball in the dirt, another good block from Beers, and the count goes full. Garcia reaches base, Jensen Torzinski will bat next. If not, we move to the second inning. No score, bottom 1. Saints have an early chance to cash in against Emily Karstens. Garcia takes ball 4 high. It's a walk and they're at the corners. 23rd walk drawn by Kayla Garcia this year. No one else on the team has taken more than 12 of them. But opposing pitchers, rightfully, in most cases, have feared Garcia, and they pitched around her a lot this year. Still another good hitter behind her. Jensen Torzinski hitting .323. She swings the first pitch and lines it softly right back to the pitcher, who catches it for out number 3. Nice job by Emily Karstens getting out of the inning and making the third out on her own with that liner right back to her. Saints get a leadoff hit. They put 2 on base overall, but leave them at the corners and don't score. We head to the second, 0-0. Samantha Alberto leads off top of the second inning for Olivet Nazarene. No score after one. Morgan Derringer's first pitch of the inning is over for a strike. Derringer wearing a brace on her right arm today after missing most of the last 4 games. That one misses for ball 1 to even the count. So she's back out there today and looking sharp in the early going as she retired the first 3 hitters she faced, 2 of them on strikes. Derringer entered play today with a 16-2 record and 1.38 ERA. Popped up, foul territory. Rolniak up against the wall is able to make the grab for out number 1. Nice job by Rolniak, unfazed with the fence coming up in her face. She was able to make the grab just as she crashed into it. 1 up, 1 down in the second. Here's Allie Davis. Derringer entered play today with 121 2/3 innings pitched. She had allowed only 33 runs, 24 of them earned on 94 hits. With 155 strikeouts and 35 walks, that number up to 157 strikeouts now with the first 2 batters of the game. Davis contacts out to the left side, popped up on the infield, and Gallison's able to back up and make the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the second, and here's Miranda Southall. Derringer has started 17 games this year. She's completed 15 of them. Strike 1 called on Miranda Southall. One of the 2 games that she did not complete came last week against St. Ambrose when she had to be removed after 1 inning with that injury. Ball 1 to even the count. So she's only actually been removed from 1 game this year. It was a necessity the second time around. Ball inside, 2-1. 2 of the hottest teams in the conference today. St. Francis has won 10 in a row. They've won 17 of their last 18. Swing and a miss, it's 2-2. Olivet Nazarene has won their last 4 games ever since their loss here last week. And they've won 12 of their last 13 overall. Foul back, still 2-2. In fact, Olivet, ever since losing here last week, has really taken their frustrations out on their last couple of opponents. They've won their last 4 games by a combined score of 34-1. Ball low, 3-2. Southall threatening to reach base. First batter to do so if she does. First 5 been retired by Derringer. She takes ball 4. Hard-earned walk by Miranda Southall, and there's a 2-out base runner for Olivet. For Southall, that's the team-high 15th walk drawn this year. And it brings up Alyssa Pusateri. Pusateri hitting .258. She takes strike 1. She's got 14 runs batted in, 9 extra base hits. She would likely need an extra base hit here in order to get this run in. On the infield, foul ground. Rolniak gives it a run but can't catch up. Foul ball, strike 2. Tigers are down to their final strike of the inning for the second time. Southall fell behind in the count but came back to work a walk. She's at first as Derringer misses high on the 0-2 pitch to Pusateri. A ball and 2 strikes. McKenna Emerson stands on deck. Soft liner to left field. Length charges and makes the grab on the run. Nice catch, Haley Length, to end the inning. 2-out walk is the total of the offense for Olivet in the second. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. St. Francis comes to bat, tied up, 0-0. Bottom 2, no score. Saints had a good chance in the first with runners at the corners, but nobody came in to score. They'll try it again in the second inning with Ashley Gallison leading off and taking ball 1. Make that strike 1 from Emily Karstens, who had a walk and gave up a hit in the first inning, but no runs. Liner down the third base side, foul, 0-2. Ashley Gallison hitting .318 this year. 1 home run, 13 RBIs. Karstens atop the rubber, deals, and strikes her out swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Emily Karstens. First time she's gotten somebody swinging. 1 up, 1 down in the second, and here's Haley Length. Any run is going to be huge in this game. Talked about that last week when Derringer and Karstens faced off. Haley Length takes ball 1 low. I talked about it early during that game, saying first run could be the biggest run. It might be enough to win. I didn't know at the time that it would take until the 11th inning for that first run to come. As Length hits it high in the air, shallow left field. Coming in to put it away is Wakasey, 2 down. 2 outs on just 5 pitches to begin this second inning. Here's Caitlin Rolniak. Olivet Nazarene does not give up a lot of runs as a team. Emily Karstens and Jamie Kiefer, their 2 star pitchers. They've got a pretty good bullpen in case anybody else is needed as well. Emily Struble and Heather Wiltshire giving them some pretty good innings this year as well. Ball inside, 1-0 on Rolniak, but it's mainly been the 2 big ones. Karstens and Kiefer pitching typically both ends of a doubleheader. And they do not give up much. Ball high, 2-0. They have not allowed more than 1 run in any game the last couple of weeks. Consider even the game they lost, and they've won 12 of their last 13, but even the game they lost was to St. Francis last week, and that was 1-0. Rolniak takes the strike. The count is 2-1. Two outs, nobody on base. Karstens looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Caitlin Rolniak swings and flies it out to left field. Again, it's Wakasey coming in to make the catch. 1-2-3 inning, worked by Emily Karstens. The Saints are set down quietly. We go to the third, no score. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for Olivet here in the third inning. Emerson, Wakasey, and Beers to face Derringer. Trying to break up this scoreless stalemate. No surprise the way this game has started, with zeros for both teams in the first 2 innings. First pitch of the inning misses high and away for ball 1 on McKenna Emerson. Emerson hitting .314 with a couple of homers, 22 RBIs this year. There's a strike over the inside edge, 1-1. A lot of strikes thrown early by Morgan Derringer. She did walk 1 batter in the second inning. She's got 2 strikeouts through 2. Ball 2. Pitch count now on Emerson. Derringer trying to get back into it. Chopper, left side, picked up by Gallison. Shortstop fires to first for out number 1. Kayla Garcia over at first base today. She was the first baseman for most of last season. Has not been able to play first for much of this year. She's been the DP with Jensen Torzinski covering first base, but Garcia back over there today. First time she's played first at home this year. She did play part of the game at first base on Saturday. Backing up, Brooke Carricker makes the catch on a pop fly from Felicia Wakasey. 1 pitch, and Wakasey is retired. 2 down in the 3rd. Nice read by Brooke Carricker there. She tracked it back pretty easily on a ball hit over her head. Here's Sarah Beers. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Beers takes ball 1. Two outs, nobody on base. 8 of the first 9 retired by Derringer. Here's a strike. It's 1-1. Derringer allowed a few more base runners in last week's pitcher's duel than Karstens did. She had to pitch out of some jams, but she did so admirably. Popped up on the infield. Garcia is under it into foul territory. She makes the catch. The inning is over. Another 1-2-3 for Derringer. She's retired 9 of 10 to start things off. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. 0-0. St. Francis up in the bottom of the 3rd, scoreless as Paige Egan digs in. Top of the order to follow her, Anna Wetherell, Brooke Carricker, and if anybody reaches, Allie Belandis. 2 of the first 4 batters reached against Emily Karstens, but she's retired 4 straight since then. Her first pitch to Paige Egan misses low for ball 1. Paige Egan this season hitting .255 with 3 RBIs. It was her hit that got the rally started to beat Karstens last week. She scored the winning run. She takes ball 2 low, 2-0. Left-handed hitter runs up in the box and takes a strike. 2-1 the count. Started to say last inning that last week Karstens really didn't run into much trouble against St. Francis. Saints rarely threatened other than the inning they finally broke through. Ball low, 3-1. Whereas Olivet had base runners seemingly every frame and just weren't able to break through and score any runs early on. Or throughout the entire game, in fact, as that one's fouled off. 3-2. Today, at least the early going has been kind of the opposite. Derringer has shut them down through 3 innings, allowing just 1 base runner so far, whereas the Saints had a runner at third base in the first inning and weren't able to score. Ball high, and there's a walk. Second walk issued today by Emily Karstens, and the leadoff batter reaches for the second time in 3 innings. It's Paige Egan at first base with Anna Wetherell in the box. 2 steals in 3 attempts this year for Egan, who is a very swift base runner. Anna Wetherell takes ball 1 low. Wetherell in the batter's box, very speedy as well. She's 1 for 1 with a single and a stolen base in the game. Showing bunt, she takes the strike, 1-1. Still early in this game, but the Saints just trying to scratch out 1 run here, which would be a huge support to Morgan Derringer. There's the bunt, back to the pitcher, picked up by Karstens, who throws to first and gets the out. Sacrifice for Anna Wetherell. That's her 4th sacrifice bunt this season. It advances Paige Egan into scoring position for Brooke Carricker. So job well done by Wetherell. And now can Carricker come up with another big hit against Karstens? Her game winner last week was a ground ball right up the middle. Here she takes ball 1. Carricker grounded out to second base in the first inning. She advanced Wetherell from second to third in the process. Wetherell ended up stranded at third base. Ball low, 2-0. Just 28 walks in 116 innings coming in today for Karsten. She's been a little wild in this game, though. 2 walks in the first 2+ innings. And now 2-0 on Carricker, who takes ball 3 low. Threatening to reach base in front of Allie Belandis. Slugging catcher stands on deck. Ball 4 high. Second walk of the inning. 3rd of the game for Karstens. And Allie Belandis has an RBI opportunity. Belandis is 0 for 1. She struck out looking in the first inning. Big moment in the game here for Karstens. And her first pitch to Belandis misses inside for ball 1. 5 straight out of the zone. In the inning, she's thrown 10 balls and only 4 strikes. She's been all over the place here in the 3rd. She does find the edge of the strike zone that time. Big first strike on Belandis. 1-1 count, especially in this situation. Huge advantage to the pitcher compared to 2-0. Soft liner into center field. That drops for a base hit. Paige Egan waved around third base. The throw comes in from Pusateri. Not in time. Paige Egan scores. It's an RBI base hit for Allie Belandis, and the Saints strike first. And it does not take until the 11th inning this time around. They take a 1-0 lead here in the 3rd with only 1 out. And Kayla Garcia will be the batter. First hit of the inning. Karstens dug herself into a big hole there with back-to-back walks, or rather 2 walks sandwiched around a sacrifice bunt. Kayla Garcia walked her first time up. Here she takes ball 1. Walk, sacrifice, walk, single. That's been the path of the inning so far. Garcia takes low. 2 balls and no strikes. Karstens continues to struggle with her control. There's finally a strike on Garcia. 2-1. Kayla Garcia is the team leader with 32 RBIs this year. Belandis just picked up her 21st of the year. Garcia takes a ball. It's 3-1. Big hitters count here with 2 on the bases. Carricker at second, Belandis at first, and the Saints trying to break the game open a little bit. Tapped foul, 3-2. You never want to be content with just 1 run when you seem to have the opposing pitcher on the ropes. But that 1 run is a huge one. Big advantage for Morgan Derringer. Garcia smashes it foul. Still 3-2. Karstens has thrown just 9 strikes this inning. 13 balls. She's walked 2. There's the liner down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Just foul. And the runners have to return to their bases. Carricker was already around third. She was going to score easily on the play if it had been just a few inches further to the right. Home plate umpire on it right away. Said it dropped foul. Just barely. Garcia will stand back in and see an 8th pitch from Karstens. Garcia had some good swings against Emily Karstens last week. In that game, she had a big double. Went 1 for 4 overall in the game. Saints finished with just 7 total hits off of Karstens over 11 innings. 3 of them in the final frame. There's a swing and a high fly left field. Wakasey is under it. She makes the grab, and the runners have to retreat to their positions. So Garcia just missed an RBI hit by inches. She ends up flying out to left field on the next pitch. And Jensen Torzinski will bat with 2 on and 2 out. Second time in the game that Torzinski has been up there with 2 on and 2 out. Last time she was not able to come through as she lined one right back to the pitcher. And Emily Karstens made the catch. First pitch to the Saints DP is tipped foul. Torzinski tried to check her swing there. The ball ended up knocking off the inside of the bat, jamming her a little bit. Went straight down and back to the catcher. This time she chases a high fastball for strike 2. 1-0 St. Francis thanks to an Ali Belandis RBI single earlier this inning. Belandis is at first, Carricker's at second. They were in those same positions with 1 out. Now there are 2 outs and 2 strikes on Torzinski, who wraps it on the ground to third base. Picked up in fair territory by Emerson. She throws over to first in time to get Torzinski and end the inning. 1 run scores for St. Francis on 1 hit, 2 costly walks, 2 left on base. We've played 3 with 4 still to go. St. Francis leads Olivet 1-0. We've played 3 innings here in Joliet. The Saints have a big first lead. They scored a run in the bottom of the 3rd on a 1-out RBI single from Ali Belandis. Belandis now behind the plate to catch Morgan Derringer, who's retired 9 of the first 10 batters she's faced. She'll go up against Rinker, Karstens, and Alberto this inning. First pitch hit foul by Kelly Rinker. Strike 1. Rinker is 0 for 1. She struck out looking in the first inning. .450 batting average on the season, so a little bit surprising. Trying to see her bunter way on here in her second at bat. That just shows how good Morgan Derringer has been today. Ball high, 1-1. Next pitch finds the inside corner for a strike, 1-2. Derringer struck out the first two batters she's faced today, none since. But she's got Rinker behind the 8 ball here at 1-2. There's a fly ball out to right field, foul territory. Egan, long run, up against the wall. She makes the grab. Good defense today so far for the St. Francis Fighting Saints. That time Egan was going full speed. She was just feet away from the fence down that line and nearly ran right into it, but she was able to hold her positioning and still reach the glove up and make the catch. Good play by Egan as Emily Karstens fouls the first pitch back for strike one. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to short. She takes a ball outside, 1-1. Karstens doing a fine job in the pitcher's circle today. She's allowed just 1 run through 3 innings. Trying to get things going at the plate. Fly ball down the left field line. Long run, Haley Lemp into foul ground. She can't catch up. It is a foul ball. 1-2 on Karstens. Another 2-strike count against Derringer. Morgan Derringer among the best in the nation in terms of strikeouts per game. Ball outside, 2-2. Derringer's been one of the best in the nation, period, trying to pick up her 17th victory of the year. She was, at one point this season, named NAIA National Player of the Week. She's been Conference Player of the Week 3 times. Fouled back, still 2-2. Good at bat so far for Karstens. 1 out, nobody on. Alberto waiting on deck. And Karstens is hit by the pitch on 2-2. Derringer hits her in the leg and sends her on her way to first base. Just the second base runner against Derringer today. She walked Miranda Southall in the second inning. She hits Emily Karstens here in the fourth. Then a little bit frustrating from Derringer in that both batters that she's put on today are hitters that she was ahead of with 2 strikes in the count. Tying run is aboard for Olivet as Samantha Alberto, the first baseman, stands in. Takes ball 1 high. Alberto popped out to the third baseman, her first time up. Ball 2. 2-0. Allie Davis waits on deck. Ball 3 outside. Suddenly Derringer can't find the strike zone. She hit Karstens and now has gone 3-0 on Alberto. Big pitch coming up. And there finally is the strike. 3-1 the count. It's a cool spring evening in Joliet. Much warmer than it's been lately. Temperature was in the 60s earlier. Fouled back. 3-2. The sun has kind of departed from vision. Temperature has dropped a little bit. Overcast, but it doesn't look like rain's coming anytime soon. Fly ball out to shallow center field. Wetherill charging in, makes the underhanded grab for the second out. She throws back to first looking for the double play, but Karstens dives back into first. There's a strong breeze blowing right now. Going from right to left, it's been pretty constant throughout this game. You can see it just in Morgan Derringer's ponytail out there. That the wind has been blowing strong pretty much since the start of this one. 2 outs, a runner at first. Allie Davis takes the first pitch for ball 1. One to nothing Saints on a bottom of the third inning single from Allie Belandis. Derringer trying to put the 0 on the board immediately after the Saints scored their first run. Davis takes strike 1 to even the count. Next First pitch to Davis is taken for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Derringer's been falling behind hitters this inning, but so far has given up nothing more than one hit batter. There's a strike called, 2-2. So she's 1 strike away from ending the inning. Every hitter this inning has gone to 2 strikes. Derringer has not been putting them away the way she typically does with the strikeouts, but she's been getting outs just the same. Popped up behind home plate. That is well out of play. And still 2-2. Miranda Southall will bat next if Allie Davis reaches. Davis trying to get Karstens into scoring position. Emily Karstens was hit by a pitch. She's been standing over at first ever since. Inside on Davis. The count goes full. Swung on 3-2, popped up into foul territory and out of play. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Olivet Nazarene has not gotten a player beyond first base through the first 3 2/3 innings of this game. They've had only 2 base runners total. One of them is on right now. Davis trying to work her way on any way possible. One more ball would put her on first and move Karstens into second base. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Inning over. There's the 3rd strikeout of the game from Morgan Derringer. It was a laborious 4th, but she gets out of it with the strikeout, leaving Karstens at first base. We head to the bottom of the 4th at the halfway point of today's game. It's St. Francis 1, Olivet nothing. Ashley Gallison leads off the bottom of the 4th inning, looking to extend the St. Francis advantage, 1-0. Emily Karstens' first pitch comes in low for ball 1. Karstens struck out Gallison swinging to lead off the 2nd inning. So she's 0 for 1 in the game. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Karstens hasn't been nearly as dominant in this game as she was a week ago against St. Francis. She's only allowed 2 hits so far, but she's walked 3 batters. Strike called, 1-2. The Saints have had a steady stream of base runners so far. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gallison out on strikes for the 2nd time today. It's the 3rd strikeout overall for Emily Karstens. 1 away in the 4th. So now it's number 7 hitter, Haley Length. First pitch swinging, slugged out to deep left field with Casey going back on it. And that ball is gone over the fence. A solo home run for Haley Lent. Just barely clearing the wall out there. Casey reached over for it. Because it's a short fence, Casey was able to just lean over with her glove on the home run side of it, and it was just out of her reach. Lent goes deep to double the lead, 2-0. And it's the first home run of the season for Lent, RBI number 15 And a big one to make it 2-0. For Karstens, in 120 innings this season, that's only the 4th home run she's allowed. Lent really got a hold of one on the first pitch of the at-bat. And here's Caitlin Rolniak. Rolniak takes strike one. Caitlin Rolniak flew out to left field in the 2nd inning. She's 0 for 1. She takes low, ball one. One out, nobody on base following the Lent home run. High on Rolniak, 2-1. Paige Egan will bat next, and if anybody reaches, we're back to the top of the order as the Saints try to spark another rally here. Rolniak sends one out to right field. That sinks down in front of Miranda Southall. The throw to first base is in time, and Rolniak is out number 2. Rolniak a little slow out of the box there. And the ball dropped in front of Miranda Southall. Heads up play by the right fielder, not to give up on it. She squared it up perfectly, putting herself in good throwing position as she fielded the ball on the hop and threw it over to first to get the out. So 2 down in the inning for Paige Egan. Egan bunts it right in front of the plate, picked up by the catcher Beers, whose throw to first is not in time. That's a fun couple of pitches. On the one, you get a 9-3 put out, and then the next pitch, it goes to the catcher, and she's not able to put her out in time. Egan is aboard with a bunt single. I'd say about 99 times out of 100, and probably significantly more than that. One player hits it to right, and the other player hits it to the catcher. The one that hits it to the catcher is the one who's going to be out. The runner goes on the first pitch, throw to second, not in time. Ball one on Anna Wetherell and a runner in scoring position here. Paige Egan steals her 3rd bag of the year. Wetherell has a single, a stolen base, and a sacrifice bunt today. She's 1 for 1 officially. And she takes a ball inside. 2-0. Fouled back, 2-1. Huge game in the CCAC conference today. Top 2 teams going head-to-head in what very well may turn out to be the de facto conference championship game. Wetherell smacks it out to left field. That's a fair ball. Egan comes in to score. Wetherell heads to second base, an RBI double, and it's 3-0 St. Francis. Anna Wetherell has her 2nd hit of the game. RBI number 14 this season. And the way this game has gone, a 3-run lead feels very comfortable right now for St. Francis. Still a long way to go against a tough offense, but 3 runs feel a little more like 7 or 8 with the way Derringer's been pitching. Not just today, but all season. Fouled back by Carricker for strike 1. And for as hard as runs were to come by in last week's game between St. Francis and Olivet with the same pitching matchup, it's a little surprising that anybody's been able to put up 3 runs. Fouled back, strike 2. After this game today, St. Francis still has another 5 on the schedule. And Olivet still has 6 more. Ball high, 1-2. So it's impossible to say that the winner of this game is going to win the conference, but whoever wins this is in really good shape. Liner to third, hard hit ball by Carricker, but right at McKenna Emerson. Puts the squeeze on it to end the inning. 2 more runs for St. Francis. Haley Lent hits her 1st home run of the year. Anna Wetherell comes up with an RBI double. We're going into the 5th inning. It's St. Francis 3, Olivet nothing. We're ready to start the 5th inning. It's been all St. Francis so far. They've scored 3 runs the last 2 innings. Meanwhile, Morgan Derringer has been nearly perfect. She's gone through 4 innings and allowed only 2 base runners. Miranda Southall is one of those 2. She stands in for the 2nd time and takes strike 1. Southall walked and was stranded at first back in the 2nd inning. She takes a ball off the inside corner here, 1-1. 1 walk, 1 hit batter. No hits allowed so far by Derringer. She has struck out 3 through 4 innings. That pitch misses high, 2-1. Derringer, a senior. She'll be playing in her final home game tomorrow. Strike called, 2-2, along with the rest of the seniors. There are a lot of them. Morgan Derringer, Brooke Carricker. That ball is hit up in the air, foul ground, near home plate, but out of play into the bleachers. Count remains 2-2. Allie Belandis, Lena Mito, all have been here for the last 4 years. A lot of transfers who are seniors now as well, who have put up some big numbers the last couple of seasons. Jensen Torzinski is a senior. Anna Wetherell will be done after this year. Popped up, left side, foul once again, and it'll drop in play, but in foul ground, out of everybody's reach. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Miranda Southall. Southall, Pusateri, McKenna Emerson due to hit this inning, the 6, 7, and 8 batters. Southall is a .294 batter for the season. She grounds it up the middle and through for a base hit. First hit of the game for Olivet. They've got their first leadoff batter aboard as they try to cut into this 3-run deficit. So here's Alyssa Pusateri with a runner at first base and nobody out. Southall has been the only one to figure out Morgan Derringer so far. She's on base for the 2nd time. Everybody else has been aboard just once combined. Pusateri is 0 for 1. She lined out to left field where Haley Length made a nice catch on her last time up. There's a bunt. Back to the pitcher. Derringer throws to Carricker covering first base. 1 away. Southall advances to 2nd, so it is a successful sacrifice, but the Saints at this point will be happy to take the out. Much more important to get the out than to worry about the base runner when you got a 3-run lead late in the game. Fair trade as far as the Saints are concerned. And here's McKenna Emerson. Emerson grounded out to short last time around. Ball 1 outside. Emerson hitting .314 coming in, 27 for 86 at the plate. She takes a strike. 1-1 is the count. 1 out, 1 on. 3-0 St. Francis. Trying to win their 11th in a row. Fouled back, 1-2. I was talking about the conference race before and the fact that this game is not exactly a conference championship, but the winner of this one is very likely to win the conference. Ball high, 2-2. Saints, again, still have 5 games to go after this, but the next 2 are against Robert Morris. And then 2 after that against Roosevelt, 1 against Judson. Ball low, 3-2. Just based on the track records of those other teams, especially the next 4, nothing's ever a given, but you'd have to think the Saints will be heavily favored in those games. That ball slugged out to deep left center field, and it'll split the gap. Picked up by Anna Wetherell as 1 run comes in to score. Pulling up at 2nd base, McKenna Emerson has herself an RBI double, and the Tigers are on the board. A double into left center field scores Miranda Southall. 3-1 our score now. Emerson takes Southall's place at 2nd base, and the batter is Felicia Wakasey. Wakasey is 0 for 1 with a pop out. Bottom of the order, getting it done for Olivet here. Ball one inside from Derringer. Olivet's schedule going forward a little bit tougher than St. Francis's. The only other team right now that is still mathematically alive to win the conference would be Trinity International. There's a two-hopper to short. Ashley Gallison has it. She throws to first. 2 down. Emerson forced to hold at second base, and Olivet's down to their final out of the 5th inning. Sarah Beers is the hitter. Trinity International really didn't seem to be alive in the conference race at all a couple of weeks ago, but they've won 8 straight games and are now 13-5 in the CCAC. Beers takes strike one. They'd still need a bit of a miracle to win the conference. They would need both of these teams to fall apart over the final week. That ball misses low, 1-1. Beers laid the bat out there for a bunt, but apparently was able to get it back in just enough time. They will appeal now, and she was able to get the bat back, according to the umpire on the bases. 1-1 the count. Beers has struck out and popped out in this game. Ball 2. 2-1 on the catcher and leadoff batter, hitting with a runner at second and 2 outs in the top of the 5th. 3-1 St. Francis. It's been a slugfest compared to what we saw last week. There's a bunt to third base. Rolniak fires to Carricker, covering the bag, and the inning is over. 5-4 on the putout. Beers is retired, and Emerson is left at second base as the Tigers have to settle for just 1 run in the 5th inning on 2 hits. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. 3-1 St. Francis. Part of the order due up for St. Francis in the bottom of the 5th. They have scored in 2 straight innings. Trying to make it 3 in a row here with Allie Belandis, Kayla Garcia, and Jensen Torzinski. St. Francis leads Olivet Nazarene 3-1. Belandis takes ball 1. Emily Karstens went over 2 games, a combined 12-plus innings without allowing an earned run as Belandis shoots it on the ground to short. Allie Davis throws it over to first for the out. St. Francis has now scored 3 earned runs against her in the last 2 innings. Belandis had an RBI single in the 3rd. Haley Lenth homered in the 4th, and then Anna Wetherell picked up an RBI double later in that same inning. But the leadoff batter retired here, and it's Kayla Garcia's turn. Think about how hard that the Saints actually hit Karstens last inning. They had 3 hits, including a homer and a double. Garcia takes ball 1 high. 2 of the 3 outs were hard hits. Brooke Carricker hit a sharp liner to third that was just, unfortunately, right at McKenna Emerson. Just a little bad luck for Carricker on that one. And Caitlin Rolniak went out to right field. She had a line shot right in front of the right fielder Miranda Southall, which normally would go for a hit. But in this case, Southall was able to throw the ball back to the infield and retire her at first just before Rolniak was able to get there. So 2 of the 3 outs were very hard hit balls. The inning easily could have gone on a little bit longer. 2-1 on Kayla Garcia, who flew out to left field her last time up. She's 0 for 1. She walked back in the first inning. One of 3 walks issued so far in this game by Emily Karstens. Strike called, 2-2. One out, nobody on base. Bottom of the 5th inning. Garcia hits it foul to the left, still 2-2. Back at it tomorrow night, a 5 o'clock start time. That'll be a doubleheader for St. Francis against Robert Morris. Their final 2 home games of the year. They had a couple scheduled for this Friday against Indiana Tech, but those have been canceled. 2-2 on Garcia. Ball 3. Full count. Today is the extremely rare 1-game scenario. It's only the 3rd time this season that it's happened to St. Francis, that they've had just 1 game and not 2. Strike 3 called. Garcia down on strikes. 4th strikeout notched by Karstens today. 2nd time she's gotten a Saints hitter looking. And now she's looking for her second 1-2-3 inning of the game. She can get Jensen Torzinski, who is 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. Torzinski tries to check her swing, rolls it down the third base line. It's just foul for strike 1. Twice before, St. Francis played just 1 game on a day, but those were both because the second game was postponed due to weather at Judson back on the 13th of April and against Olivet right here last week. Fouled back, 0-2. So this is the first time this year that they have shown up at the ballpark expecting to play just 1. Torzinski hits a bouncer to third, gloved on 1 hop by Emerson, a slight bobble, but she's able to recover in time to throw to first base and retire Torzinski. Nice bounce back inning for Karstens. She sets him down 1-2-3. We're going to the 6th. St. Francis still leading by 2, 3-1 our score. Number 2 hitter Kelly Rinker up for Olivet Nazarene as we start the 6th inning. First pitch to Rinker is taken for strike 1 from Morgan Derringer, who's retired Olivet's top hitter twice today. Rinker has struck out and flown out. She swings at the high fastball and can't catch up. 0-2. Derringer's had just 1 hiccup in this game. She allowed a single to Miranda Southall and then an RBI double to McKenna Emerson in the 5th. Those are the only 2 hits she's given up all game. Popped up on the infield. Rolniak is under it. She makes the catch. 1 away in the 6th inning. Derringer 5 outs away from her 17th victory of the year. And she'll face Emily Karstens for the 3rd time. Karstens takes a ball high. She reached base back in the 4th inning when she was hit by a pitch. She's also grounded out today. Ball upstairs, 2-0. Samantha Alberto due up next, and if anybody reaches this inning, we'll see Allie Davis. There's a pop-up to shortstop. Gallison has the catch, and there are 2 outs. Couple of pop-ups to the left side of the infield. One to Rolniak, one to Gallison. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th inning. Here's Samantha Alberto, first baseman for the Tigers. She has popped out and flown out. Strike 1 called. Ball 1, the count is even on Alberto. St. Francis in the bottom of the 6th inning will send Gallison, Length, and Rolniak to the plate. Swing and a miss, 1-2. They're up by 2 right now. And if Derringer can get one more out here, in fact, she's just 1 strike away. And those 3 hitters for St. Francis I just mentioned will just look to pad the lead one more time. Derringer either hit Alberto or it got the bat. We either got a foul ball or we've got a hit by pitch here. Alberto started running to first. The umpire told her to stop, and now he's discussing with the base umpire. And the 2 of them have determined, I think, foul ball. So the count remains 1-2 on Alberto. And she'll have to stand back into the right-handed batter's box as Derringer delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice work by Morgan Derringer. She has her 3rd perfect inning of the game out of 6 innings total. She's allowed just 1 run on 2 hits so far. And the Saints are 3 outs away from a win. They'll try to add to their lead first in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead 3-1. Three to 1 St. Francis in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ashley Gallison leads things off against Emily Karstens and swings to the first pitch, hitting it foul into the Olivet dugout for strike 1. Gallison is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Overall in this game, Karstens has not been as effective as she was last week against St. Francis, which would have been hard to do after she went 10-plus innings before allowing the first run. Gallison smacks it to short, but it's caught by Allie Davis. Tough one for Gallison right there. She hit it about as hard as she could, but Davis was Johnny on the spot to make the catch. Just going to say it's a little funny for Gallison. She didn't strike out once last week when Karstens was that dominant, but today when Karstens hasn't been quite as good, she struck out twice. That time she hit it hard, but lined out to short. Here's Length flying it to left, and Wakasey comes in to make the catch. 2 outs on just 3 pitches here in the 6th inning. Length had hit it out to left field last time around too, but hit it over the fence before. She's now 1 for 3 with a homer to left and 2 flyouts to left. Here's Kaylin Rolniak. Rolniak flew to left field her first time up, and I guess technically grounded out 9-3 in the 4th. Ball 1 low. 6 straight have been retired by Emily Karstens since she allowed an RBI double to Anna Wetherill in the 4th. Rolniak takes the ball high, 2-0. pitch to Rolniak is in there for a strike, 2-1. Looking ahead to the 7th, Davis, Southall, and Pusateri. Not necessarily the scariest hitters for Olivet, but they're some of the hitters that have had the most success today against Morgan Derringer. So Morgan's going to have to work in that 7th inning to try to wrap up this victory. 3-1 on Rolniak. And she takes a strike over the inside corner. The count is full. If Rolniak can reach, it'll be Paige Egan up next. Rolniak swings on 3-2, lifts it out to shallow right. Coming in and making the catch, Miranda Southall ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Saints. That's 7 in a row. Set down by Emily Carstens. Nice recovery from her after she was shaky in the middle inning. She's kept her team in it. And now the offense has one last chance to come back and tie it or take the lead in the 7th inning. With 1 to play, it's St. Francis 3, Olivet 1. It's Allie Davis, Miranda Southall, Alyssa Pusateri due up against Morgan Derringer in the top of the 7th as Olivet Nazarene takes their last crack at tying this game up and prolonging it a little bit. Derringer 3 outs away from win number 17. Her first pitch of the inning misses low for ball 1. Allie Davis is 0 for 2 in the game. She's popped out to short and struck out swinging. Bunted right in front of the plate, picked up by Rolniak, whose throw to first is not in time. It's a bunt single for Davis, and the tying run will come to the plate. Just the 3rd hit allowed by Morgan Derringer today. First 2 hits she gave up were in the same inning, and they did produce a run. So here's Miranda Southall, who has not been retired yet in this game. Southall walked in the 2nd. She singled and scored the Tigers' only run in the 5th. Ball high, 1-0. Southall went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts against Derringer in last week's game. So a big turnaround for her so far today, but Derringer knows she can get her. Count is 1-1. Nobody out, a runner at first. Southall checks her swing and takes the strike. It's 1-2. Only 4 strikeouts in the game for Derringer, which is a pretty small total by her standards. Came in with 155 and 121 2/3 innings. She misses high here, 2-2. Next pitch from Derringer. Popped up on the infield. Playable for Kayla Garcia. The first baseman makes the call and the catch. 1 away. Derringer and the Saints now just 2 outs from their 11th straight victory. They have not lost since April 8th. 11-3 defeat against Cardinal Stritch. Alyssa Pusateri takes ball 1 low. Pusateri lined out to left field. Her first time up, she dropped down a sacrifice bunt. Her 2nd at bat. Representing the tying run in the box right now. Pusateri takes a strike over the inside corner, 1-1. So a home run ties the score. Pusateri doesn't have any of them. Batter on deck, McKenna Emerson has got 2. Ball high, 2-1. Olivet's working some good at bats here in the 7th inning. Not going down easily against Derringer. They put up a fight all game, and they continue to do so here with their backs against the wall. Check swing pop up. Belandis dives and makes the grab. Outstanding catch made by Allie Belandis, who popped out of her crouch on a ball that was not hit very high in the air. She had to locate the ball immediately, react right away, and still, despite all that, she had time to hold on to it and hold her composure. She fell to the ground. What an amazing catch by Belandis for the 2nd out. And now the last hope for Olivet is McKenna Emerson. Emerson takes ball 1 outside. She's got the only RBI of the game so far for the Tigers. A double back in the 5th inning. She's also grounded out. There's a swing and a high fly out to deep left field in foul ground. Length is there, and she is not able to make the catch. In and out of the glove of Haley Length. It's a tough play for Length from the perspective that she had to really run a long way for it. It was deep into foul territory, but it did drop in her glove, and it would have ended the game if she could have just squeezed it a little bit quicker, but it pops out. Emerson's still alive with a 1-1 count. Now she takes strike 2, and Derringer is 1 strike away from wrapping this thing up. Davis led off the inning with a bunt single. She's still at first base right now with 2 down. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Derringer to Emerson. Liner to third, past the diving glove of Caitlin Rolniak and into left field. And there is still hope for Olivet. A base hit for Emerson, her 2nd of the game. And we play on to Felicia Wakasi. 340 hitter out of the 9 spot. She's 18 for 53 coming in. 1 double, 9 RBIs. She's 0 for 2 in the game. With a pop out to 2nd and a ground out to short. Tying run is on base for the Tigers. Swinging on the first pitch, it's popped up. Foul ground, left side. Ashley Gallison makes the catch past third base. And this ball game has come to a close with St. Francis on top, 3-1. Little iffy in the 7th inning as Olivet was able to put the tying run on base. But Derringer sticks with it, gets 3 pop-ups on the infield for the 3 outs in the 7th inning, and Olivet leaves 2 on and ends up falling by the 3-1 final. St. Francis wraps up a regular season series sweep over Olivet Nazarene this year by beating them last week 1-0, and now today 3-1. They may meet up again next week in the conference tournament, but as for right now, St. Francis has won 11 straight games, and they have put themselves in excellent position to win this conference. With 5 games remaining now in the conference season, they're up 1.5 over Trinity International in the standings. 16-1 now for the year. Olivet falls to 14-2 in the CCAC, and with the new top 25 rankings coming out tomorrow, probably a good bet that both of these teams will be in them. St. Francis number 19 right now, and they haven't lost since the most recent poll. They are on their best stretch of softball of the season, and at a pretty good time for it, with the regular season coming to a close in just about a week now, a little bit under a week actually. The final game of the season will be played. Good win today. Again, final score 3-1. Let's go back over the scoring in this one. Started in the 3rd inning for the Fighting Saints. Paige Egan drew a leadoff walk. She was bunted to 2nd base by Anna Wetherell, and a couple of batters later, Allie Belandis came up with a big RBI single, scoring Egan and making it 1-0. In the 4th inning, Haley Length doubled the lead with her first home run of the year, a shot out to left field that made it 2-0 in favor of the Saints. Later that inning, with 2 outs, Paige Egan singled, stole 2nd, and scored on an Anna Wetherell double that made it 3-0 in favor of the Saints. They looked to be in pretty good shape the way that Morgan Derringer was going. Through 4 innings, she did not allow a hit. That changed in the 5th as Miranda Southall singled. She was bunted to 2nd base by Alyssa Pusateri and scored on a McKenna Emerson RBI double. That made it 3-1, and it made it a little bit nail-biting for the Saints as the tying runs came up to the plate twice that inning. And it happened a couple more times in the 7th after a leadoff single from Allie Davis, and then later the tying run reached base on a single from McKenna Emerson. But Derringer got 3 pop-outs in the 7th inning to wrap up the frame and wrap up the game. Another complete game victory for Morgan Derringer. She goes 7 innings, allowing 1 run on just 3 hits. Make that 4 hits, 2 of them in the 7th inning. She walked 1 and struck out 4. Derringer now 17-2 on the season. The loss goes to Emily Karstens, a tough luck loss for her. She's now 14-3 on the season. 2 of her 3 losses have come against St. Francis, and in both of them, she actually pitched well, but she went the distance in today's game and allowed all 3 runs, all of them earned, to take this defeat. With the victory, St. Francis now 27-6 overall, 16-1 in conference. Olivet is 27-10. They are 14-2 in conference play. Saints don't have to wait long to have their next home game. Doubleheader tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock start time, senior night against Robert Morris University. Should be a fun night at the park tomorrow. That'll do it for this game, though. The Saints beat the Tigers 3-1. Until tomorrow, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Have a good night.